Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something I think a lot of you listening are probably thinking about, maybe even dreaming about. That's turning a side hustle, that passion project, into a full-blown e-commerce business. We're aiming to give you a bit of a shortcut today, really get you well informed on this path, which, let's be honest, can be exciting, but also pretty challenging. Okay, let's unpack this. So our mission, as always, is to dig into the source material we've got and pull out the most crucial, actionable bits of advice. We're hunting for those really useful nuggets of insight that can genuinely help you make that leap, from passion project to, well, a proper enterprise without getting totally bogged down.
Right. And what's fascinating here is this isn't just about, wishful thinking. Our source really emphasizes laying down a concrete foundation. It's all about actionable strategies right from day one. We're going to uncover some of those underlying principles that make achieving that e-commerce empire. And the source defines that, interestingly, not just big revenue, but a business that kind of runs itself with minimal daily input that feel, well, not just like a dream, but actually achievable.
Yeah, that feeling, right? Being stuck, just working in the hustle all the time instead of on it. And we learned straight away, our source is this whole transformation. It all starts with mindset, strategy, and consistency.
Yeah.
It really flags a huge shift you need to make from just being the creator, totally focused on the product, to having more of a CEO mindset, looking at the bigger picture.
Exactly. That advice to treat your hustle like a business from day one, it sounds simple, but it's absolutely critical. It's not just a nice idea. It's really the core difference between something that lasts, a viable business, and, well, a hobby that might just fizzle out after a while. And the source really explains why those three things, mindset, strategy, consistency, they aren't just buzzwords, they're like interconnected. A strategy without the right mindset, you just get stuck. Consistency without a clear strategy, that's just, busy work, going nowhere fast. So when you adopt that CEO mindset, you approach everything differently with more seriousness, proper planning, thinking about professional growth. It sets the whole stage.
Okay, so you've made that fundamental shift in mindset. You're ready to build properly. What's the immediate next step? The actionable thing the source pushes us towards, especially if you've got a new product idea, because solve a real problem sounds great, but how do you actually know you're solving one people care about?
Good question. And that's where this crucial distinction comes in. It's not just about thinking you found a problem. It's about actively validating your solution before you go all in. And the deep dive here shows that true validation isn't just, market research surveys. It's about actual money-changing hands. The source really pushes for pre-selling or maybe launching a minimum viable product, an MVP, to just a small targeted group first. It even mentions that a surprising number of successful e-com businesses started with a tiny test launch, maybe under $100, just to prove people would actually buy it before scaling up.
Right, so getting real money, real commitment.
Exactly.
And then that validation process, it connects directly to using customer feedback to refine and build loyalty. So this isn't just about tweaking the product based on what people say.
No.
It's more about cultivating that dedicated customer base,
Yep.
right? Making them feel heard, valued, listening really carefully to what they're telling you becomes, well, fundamental, not just for the product, but for building that community around it.
Precisely. It fuels everything.
Okay, so you've got a product people actually want. They're paying for it. You're
Yep.
listening. You're refining. What's usually the next big hurdle, the bottleneck as things start to grow, are source points right at operations. And the game-changing power of automation. It says automate operations from order fulfillment to email marketing, freeing you to scale. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because I bet a lot of listeners hear automation and immediately think, oh, that's expensive, or it's really complex.
Yeah.
Does the source talk about how accessible this stuff is now, or maybe common mistakes people make trying to automate too early?
It absolutely does. And yeah, this isn't about needing, a massive IT department or huge upfront cash. Not initially, anyway. If we connect this to the bigger picture, automation is genuinely what frees you to scale. It stops you from burning out doing repetitive tasks. The source highlights really accessible ways, things like using a third-party logistics provider, a 3PL, for totally hands-off order fulfillment. I mean, literally someone else packing and shipping your stuff. Or setting up personalized email marketing flows. Stuff that automatically triggers based on what a customer does or doesn't do.
Yeah.
Not just sending the same email to everyone. This isn't just about saving time, though it does that. It's about creating professional, reliable systems that are always working. That lets you, the founder, shift your time from just reacting to stuff to actually thinking strategically about growth. Working smarter, basically, so you can scale sustainably.
That makes sense.
Mm.
Get the machine running smoothly in the background. So with that back end getting automated, the focus then shifts outward, right, to how you present yourself. The advice is to invest in branding that speaks to your audience, which really makes you pause and think, who is my ideal customer really? And how does my brand identity actually connect with them specifically?
Mm-hmm. And that strong branding, well, it works hand in hand with the source's next point. Double down on platforms that convert best.
Hmm.
See, knowing your audience, that informs both of those decisions.
Wow.
If your brand really speaks to a certain group, you'll have a better idea where they spend their time online. But, crucially, you also need to know where they're most likely to actually buy. The source isn't just talking about where your audience, hangs out scrolling.
Right, not just eyeballs.
Exactly. It's specifically about where that journey from seeing your product to clicking buy is shortest and easiest. Maybe that's Pinterest for very visual products where you can link straight to your shop. Or maybe TikTok Shop for those trending items. It's about putting your energy where it counts most for sales and reach, being where your buyers are with the message they get, and making it super easy for them to purchase.
It's definitely a journey, though, a big one. And our source is pretty realistic about it, reminding us the shift from part-time passion to full-time success isn't overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important to hear, isn't it? It's normal for this stuff to take time. There are going to be bumps in the road.
Oh, absolutely. It's never a straight line. But the ultimate takeaway here, and I think it's a really empowering one, is that with the right systems and relentless focus, it's absolutely within reach. It really emphasizes that building that e-commerce empire, again, that sustainable, scalable business, it isn't some kind of pipe dream. It's a tangible result. But it comes from combining that structured, methodical approach, the systems we talked about, with just unwavering dedication and perseverance. That's the relentless focus.
Mm-hmm.
Those two elements together, systems and focus, they're really the keys to unlocking that next level of success, where the business can start to run more independently.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Well, we've kind of walked through the essential pillars here for building a truly thriving e-commerce business. It starts with that crucial CEO mindset shift. Then rigorously validating your product with actual sales, remember. Strategically automating your operations so you can scale. Investing in powerful branding that really connects with your people. And underpinning it all, consistency and that relentless focus.
Yeah, and maybe here's something to really mull over. If solving a real problem is truly the core of it all, and automation is what frees you up from the daily grind, what untapped problem out there could you, with your unique skills or perspective, actually solve? And then how would you start designing the systems right now to make that solution scale, ideally almost effortlessly, without needing your hands on it every single minute?
Exactly. Something to think about. Take these insights, reflect on your own side hustle, your own business ideas, and see how you can start applying them, maybe even today. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.